Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am Saturday, November the 7th. It's 9:30 in the morning in the Eastern Time Zone, and I am here with a Facebook clock countdown that's a bit odd. Okay. I'm here. I'm excited. I haven't done any day except Friday for a really long time. I experimented in the beginning, and Friday worked out really well. But now I know I have fans who are staying up late at night, and I thought I would give them a chance to to connect with me a little earlier in their day. So very cool. I have already a request for a card. I'm still on my morning coffee. What can I tell you? Um, Someone, there you are. I Oh, Laurie, I love it. I did get your message. I do have your request for a card already, and I will I will shuffle my cards. They're still in a bit of a schmoz from yesterday, and it's really nice to see you. I'm so glad. I guess Fridays don't work for you. I haven't seen you for a while on Friday. But it's good to see you now. You're anxious. I'm sorry you're anxious. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm delighted that you're eager. I like to be needed. I like to be wanted. All right. So I've been yesterday. I held as our intention around clarity. What spirit would say about? Yeah, I'm shuffling. Um, what spirit would say about looking for clarity. This week has been very confused in a lot of different ways around the world and in our personal lives. So what the cards suggest in terms of finding clarity can have a great deal of value in whatever's going on with us, I think. So I am Fridays you were in school, okay. Clarity, the path. I'm wearing the labyrinth right on my clothes today. So, yes, but the path, we think we know where we're going, and all of a sudden it takes off in another direction, and we've got to turn and do something different. So, being in that place, that transition from going forward and feeling blocked and not knowing which way to go next, very natural, very real, and very much what's going on in a lot of lives right now, especially with the conditions that we're facing. Show me the way. I would like to, Laurie. All right, so we'll see what the cards have to say about clarity for Laurie. And oh, interesting. This came up yesterday for someone too. And this it's an awesome card. These are brambles growing across a disused driveway, going where they had never gone before. And I think, in terms of clarity, it is a call to lift your gaze out of the narrow place that you thought you were going to be going. Sort of like I said, the path on the labyrinth. You thought you were going forward, and suddenly you couldn't. And getting to where you can broaden your outlook and just explore a whole lot of other options that hadn't occurred to you before. The number 32, 3 is the creativity number. It's your point of yes, exactly. Your point of inspiration, where new ideas arrive, where you come up with things that you don't know why you didn't think of them before, and other people go, where would you even think of that? That's coming through the three. That is the cosmos using you to bring things into the physical world. And it doesn't matter if it's an oil painting or a manuscript or an algorithm or a new way of cooking rutabagas, whatever it is. Yes, absolutely creative number. So then you've got the two, which is the relationship number, and that's about how you are and who you are with other people. It isn't limited to being in a couple. It's all relationships. It's your friendship with me, it's your relationship with the person who delivers your groceries, it's the bus driver, it's everyone. So all of those relationships in your community and that world that is yours. Okay, good. um, so we're bringing together that creativity and that community, and we add them up because in numerology we always add up until there's um, only one digit left, and we get five. And five is the number of growth and expansion, adapting to new circumstances, adjusting your behavior, adjusting your expectations, all of those different kinds of adjustments that allow you then to make progress. Five ultimately is the progress, the evolution of ourselves, our souls, our lives, all of those things. So in terms of this bramble crossing the driveway, because the car stopped using this part, so the bramble came out of the ditch and went over the it's packed earth. I don't know if you can tell, but very not really hospitable. You would never plant a potato there. But the brambles found a way. They went where no bramble had gone before. Yes. Okay. I'm seeing you're doing a class in active listening, Laurie. That's lovely. You're getting it all right as you summarize what I'm saying. That's so good. So, in terms of finding clarity for where you're at, and I don't think you told me specifically what your problem was, just that you're confused. Um, if you are confused because what you expected isn't working out, there's no amount of beating your head on it that is going to make it make sense. This is about opening up and exploring the many possibilities and being, and just as I make the gesture, opening up your mind, opening up your willingness to hear, and that opens you up to a whole lot more. That's all right, Laurie. I wasn't criticizing in any way. It's because you don't know who has a solution or who has a piece of the solution, that if you just take the time to be open to what they're talking about, it might trigger something, and it might indeed trigger something that is coming through that creative portal that is the three, that you hear someone say, I have to take some soup to grandma, and you go, oh my god, soup, if I had lentils I could solve my whole problem. And it's not about the soup and the grandma, but it's about you being open to hearing and interpreting and applying it to yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I think this card is telling you. I'm going back to my coffee. I got another labyrinth on my coffee cup. Isn't that gorgeous? These are available through Apple Pie Pottery in Middleton, Nova Scotia. Just saying. Um, oh, I'm glad that gives you hope, Laurie, because when we're confused and feeling anxious, hope is very important. Very important. Um, I was dealing with a thing the other day. Came upon a Wayne Dyer quote where he said, "Nobody knows enough to be a pessimist." And it took me a little while. I had to process that for a short while. And I realized that there is always more to know, and we're never at the end of the learning. So if we're in a place where things feel pessimistic, where the outlook looks bleak and negative, we need to learn more. So it comes back to that openness. It comes back to exploring what else we need to apply to our situation, because there's certainly no progress in pessimism. And nobody knows enough to be a pessimist. Exactly. Exactly. I thought it was such a great line. I ended up using it in an article I was writing, with full credit to the late, great Wayne Dyer. Yes. So openness, exploring, going and doing. And of course, you know that Bramble thrived, right? It, uh, yes. Well, it's good to see you. Are you involved with? I don't think. If anybody else is here, please let me know that you want a card. But I'm not aware of anyone right now. Um, the PARO, which I have no idea what it stands for. Um, there's an expo, online gathering exhibition thing happening next week. So, oh, that's good. Yeah, three is a huge number. I have written a lot about three, and I love three, and it's I love triangles. I've always loved triangles, and Buckminster Fuller's construction that's based on the triangle, and the ability to enclose a lot more square footage of ground if you use triangles instead of right angles in building. But that's a whole other topic. So, Paro, are you involved with the expo? That was my question. Yes, I love three too. Oh, are you? Because you have membership, I will send you. I will send you. Yes, I was always taught growing up that things happen in threes, and my oh, that's cool. My nana, if in the course of a morning, somebody dropped a glass and broke it, and then somebody hurt themselves in the garden or something, and she would say, oh, bad things happen in threes, and she would go get a wooden matchstick and break it so that the third thing had happened and we didn't have to make it, didn't have to live through it. So I totally get that, things seeing things in threes. All right, you haven't sent in your membership. That's not a reason for you to be off the mailing list, surely, because you were the one who introduced me to it, so I kind of expect you to be there. Isn't that something? All right. Yeah, three is an incredibly powerful number. This is right. And next month, yeah, my nana was connected to a bunch of stuff. Um, Next month being December, the one and the two adds up to three. There's a lot of three energy, a lot of creativity, a lot of the portal being open between the dimensions. So that is a number to be thinking about as we go forward to the end of the year. Oh, I didn't know you had moved. Well, now there we go. No wonder you're no. Of course, you're not paying attention to things off on a tangent. So you're busy living your own life. Fair enough. Well, I hope things are going well. This is. I know I saw some logos for your business, and I think I've seen pictures of horses and ponies and your lovely creatures. But I'm sorry, I don't pay a lot of attention to the details. And you may, in fact, have written about moving. I just either didn't see it or didn't absorb it. So I hope everything's going really well. I do, I do. All right. It is possible that this oh, okay, all right. Student support is so hard dealing with bureaucracy right now because of people working from home and the timelines. Everything's taking a lot longer with stuff. Bureaucracy was always a pain. So okay, oh good, you're consolidating your life in a smaller space. Is that what that is? Less travel. That would make sense. I understand. What am I saying? Dealing with the bureaucrats. not easy being a bureaucrat for those who are living it. I mean, no slight against your ability to work. I just cannot imagine. I have a few friends who are government workers, and now they're working from home. It is really hard, really hard. You moved on your birthday. What? Since there's nobody here, let's play. Um, what if you want to do it as a private message, you can. But I'm wondering what age you have turned in 2020. I will one day come and visit the horses, Joe. Just Joe, yeah, reading this, but not yet. I've been home for 8 months, and I'm sure it's going to be 8 months more. I'm being very isolationist, working a lot, doing a whole lot of stuff. Um, you have turned, okay. So because even though there are numbers that are with you across the calendar, oh, okay, thank you. Exactly what I needed. The 25th. All right. Although if that's not, uh, we're fine. Sorry, 7, 8. So you're in a 3 year this year, the calendar year, right? 2020. So no wonder that's really resonating for you. And then, uh, oh, interesting. So from this birthday that you've just had until your next birthday, next October, you have a 7 vibration, and 7 is the teacher. Yes, I have, and it turned out scary. You're right. Because you're learning. It is. Have we got another troll here? I've had a problem with people bombing my lives, which is really a little bit disturbing. I'm going to assume, yeah, for readings, I think not. I am so sorry. Okay, and then I'm going to delete this. Okay, I think. Delete. There we go. Okay. People are I mean, how immoral is that? Have your own live. If you're so good at doing readings, have a live, invite people, get on with it. Anyway, I have banned that one. So yes, you have a 7 vibration. 7 is the teacher. So sometimes, well, as you know, all lessons involve. I have, yes. I have. We don't learn because everything is lovely and comfortable. We learn because there's something in the way, and we've got to deal with it. Right? It's. So a 7 vibration, depending on where you are and how much you're in alignment, if when you're living up to your most awareness, and you're feeling aligned with spirit, when you are aligned with spirit, not when you're feeling it, um, you can learn the lessons without them having to drag you down. It's when we're not paying attention that life life kicks us in the face. You're going to learn this whether you want to or not. Oprah often talks about how spirit will whisper, and if we don't listen, then spirit will speak, and if we don't listen, spirit will shout really loudly in our face. And it this is how the 7 energy goes, right? If you go, oh, I'm being taught to be patient while I'm in this lineup. Okay, that's fine. I will be patient. And you get out your book and you start reading it. If, on the other hand, you start agitating and getting in an argument with the people in front of you because things are taking too long, um, the lesson about patience, it's still coming. It's just not coming in the moment. And it is your resistance to the the conditions as they are that is causing you all the extra aggravation, right? Is this making sense? So your coming year of seven stuff, being aware and recognizing when something gets in your way, instead of trying to fight against it, go, oh, this is one of those lessons that I'm getting this year, and figure out what it's teaching you, learn it, and move on. Really, really simple. A 7 year does not have to be filled with major obstacles and giant difficulties if you're not resisting the 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 flow of life as you intended it. Yeah. That's right. Let it go, and or certainly let go the angst. If it's a lesson that's there because you had planned to learn it, so don't ignore it. It's not that kind of let go, but let go any emotional resistance to it. Yeah, let life flow. Let life flow. Absolutely correct. Um, I have. You are welcome, Joe. Keep seeing my name in there and going to say it. I do know my name. You're very welcome, Laurie. I'm so glad that you got to be here. I have some other people who sometimes, yes, have a look. You worry. It doesn't change tomorrow, and it steals the joy of today, or something. There's a meme that goes around. That's not my original thought, but I totally buy into it. Look at, what is it that you're worrying about? I'm worried that I will bang my head when I fall off my bicycle. Buy a helmet. The lesson is buy a helmet, and you don't have to worry about banging your head. Um, there's there's coping, and there's managing, and there's growing through, and worry is telling you there's something to pay attention to. So yes, yes, there's an issue. Okay, so knowing that there is enough in the universe for all of us, the teachings of Abraham Hicks and all of those things, that is very, very stressful. And I don't know that worry is even the right word, because there's nothing you can do in your emotional state having it vibrate and worry and think the negative thoughts. And goodness knows we all do that. We go to the worst possible. Um, being finding that center, and if you can, you could, yes, of course, negotiating with the landlord. Of course, we are in absolutely bonkers times right now. And I don't think that any landlord is likely to want to evict a good tenant when. Hello, Seema, you're back. Um, Laurie, I there is enough for you in the universe. There is enough for all of your needs in the universe. Um, if you can YouTube and listen to some of the teachings of Abraham Hicks, I think that might help you with just releasing the worry and being in. You have a right to comfort and security just by being here, and it is available for you. It's just about the way Abraham phrases it is coming into alignment with that prosperity. Sina, you were here yesterday. I love it. Thank you so much for coming back. It is uh, it is lovely. So I have no idea what your card was yesterday, but I'm still, my intention today was again with the clarity. So we can. All right. I That's funny. You talked about looking for a job yesterday. You got the exploring card, right? And Laurie, who has been here for a little while, she's got some other stuff. And she got the exploring card today. So it's a really, really energetic card right now. Okay, clarity, clarity. You got exploring. These are such difficult times, Seema, as far as work goes. I know that. All right, Seema. Oh, okay. This is one that came up yesterday too. Not for you, but for somebody. Flow. So it is flowing. It is coming to you. It is spirit loops back and forth through the physical and the non-physical, and it there are things, there are preparations. You're stressed and need more clarity. Yes, I get that. I do understand that. um the fruiting energy, the orange banner on the bottom, is about reaping what you have sown. So there are things that you have done, and whether that's about either jobs that you've had in the past, or whether it's about places where you have left your resumes. Hey, Heather, good to see you. Um, Whether you've dropped off resumes in lots of places, and now all of a sudden somebody's going to give you a call. But as the energy flows, you are reaping the benefits of work that you've done in the past. And it could be that you've got skills that maybe you had a job in high school that you learned a bunch of stuff about, and you've moved away from that. But those are skills that actually could be marketed now while you're stressed and looking for something more permanent and more long term. So um, I don't know your exact circumstances, but I think, will you have to leave where you are? I think not. I feel as though the flow is there, unless you opened your mail this morning and there was a travel ticket, in which case the universe is saying, "Here, come on over here. We have a deal for you." Um, Going with the flow, being open to that energy yesterday of allowing a lot of different possibilities to show themselves, and not closing yourself off into a narrow little route, right? So the flow is there when you are willing and available to in the teachings of Abraham Hicks, which I don't know why I'm all on Abraham Hicks this morning, but there's discussion of going rafting on the river. And when you get down to the river and you begin to climb onto your raft, you never, ever, ever try to go upstream, because that's not where things are going. And I think very often in life, we try to do things where we're fighting against the flow of life, and we're so determined. Yes, it would be very easy to I don't know what, to go get a job next door to grandma's. Um, but I really want to go and work in a big tall tower down in the city. Um, and then you struggle and you can't get to the tower. And when you get there, they've got their COVID regulations, and you have a really hard time even getting into the building. And you've talked yourself into this whole, but that's where I want to be, and that's where the status is, and that's where the money is. You could have had a job next door to grandma's. Stop making it so hard for yourself. Doesn't mean you have to stay forever next door to grandma's. It means that that's the next step on the way towards what is coming. The decisions you make today, They make a difference in the rest of your life, but you're not tied to them like a weight that you have to stay there for the rest of your life. It's the next step that moves you into a place of different opportunity, a different way of looking at things, a different group of people who will then help you with the following step, because all of it is just one step at a time. Okay, I hope that helps, Seema. I really do. Heather, I hope things are good in Nova Scotia. I like it that you came to say hi. That's lovely. The people who inspired me to come into this time slot have not shown up as yet. Okay, you're very welcome, Seema. Come back Friday at 2, Saturday at 9:30 Eastern. The Saturdays are just for November right now, but we will see if people come. It is, yeah. It's lovely to see you. Heather, yeah, I've got a couple of people who come to my Fridays and weren't there yesterday who were staying up until midnight in order to get the time right, and I figured this would be better for them because it would put them in their evening instead. So I love. All right, good. Seema, you know what we're talking about. That's fabulous. Yes, yes. Don't resist. If something's upstream from here, it's not for you. So yeah, okay. I'm glad. I love the Abraham teachings. They are part of the reason I am where I am now. So yeah, and I'm very happy and content, and life is good. So what can I tell you? Got to share that. All right, is there anybody else lurking I haven't heard from? If you would like me to draw a card for you, please let me know in the comments, and I will do that. We have an intention to find some clarity in our lives and our being. So that's a good thing. These cards that I'm using are the Wisdom of the Garden Path cards. This label's getting a bit bashed looking, isn't it? They are for sale on my website, joleith.com, at the Oracle Cards tab. And I have some special deals going on with them now until the end of the year. So please check that out. That would be a really good thing. I have also gift certificates that are available if you would like to either to store for yourself a session with me or to give us gifts. And I think Lorianne, you are commenting in the live. Wow. How do you let it go? It's I think letting go is a byproduct of getting centered, because once you are centered in yourself, you don't have to hold on to the negative stuff. Does that make sense? Would you like a card, Lorianne? It's so good to see you. That is nice. Is anybody else out there lurking? That would be. How do you let it go? Yeah, it's about. In some ways, I guess that's sort of the non-attachment, the Buddhist practice of not clinging on to either things or beliefs or attitudes or relationships that are not serving you. You release them, return them to the universe so they can go to where they will serve the highest good of all. If yeah, Lori has worry that she is clinging to and worrying and sort of defining herself by in a lot of ways. I'm so worried. I have these worries. These things worry me. Moving into a place of knowing that those things are things she can't control right now. She can only do what she can do. So knowing, centered in herself, I am doing everything I can. I have to trust that it's going to work out. There's no more worry to hang on to, right? So it's about being centered. It's about dealing with the things that you can control and letting go of the rest. That makes sense? Everybody's gone very quiet. Is there a reason for that? Do I have to kick in and start sending you to my website, joleith.com? You can sign up for my newsletter there. I think there's a button on nearly every page. So that would be lovely. Then you will know where I am and what I'm doing. Once upon a time, in the mists of history, it used to tell you about which store I would be in which part of the city or which village or which place. It's not like that anymore. But that's okay because I can be here. I do a lot of stuff online too. I meet with people privately in Zoom. You can sign up for numerology sessions or for card reading sessions or for coaching sessions, depending on what it is that you need. Um, I also on Tuesdays, and you'll find the link in the newsletter, possibly on the website. Not sure. Events is where I have my stuff, but I do a free meditation, guided visualization meditation on Tuesdays, 2 o'clock Eastern, in Zoom. So that's the thing. I also meet with people. I do, and I've always done group activities like girls' night in and showers and birthday parties and things like that. I used to go in person, but I can and do it online. And you can find things like that on the readings tab, I believe, of the website, joleith.com. So that's another alternative. There are lots and lots of ways to get together and work with me. Numerology charts, it's very personalized numerology because it takes your birth date, the numbers of your date of birth as numbers, obviously, but also your birth name and any names that you've had since. Assigns a value to each letter, adds them up in different ways, makes big calculations around how those numbers come together and how they manifest in your life. And just if you're watching the video or if you've been here for a while, you know I was talking to Laurie about she's in I forget what year she's in, and she's in a 3-year with a 7 age number since her birthday. So I can work out those the different vibrations that are in your life on any given time and help you to tap into the support that there is. Because if you're in an energy, 4 energy, this year has been a 4, 2020, it is a wonderful, strong energy. 4 is the foundation on which we build. It's that, I like to talk about it, if we build something with 4 sides, it doesn't fall over. It's really stable and reliable. And so 4 energy is like that. It's absolutely at the base of new building and new stuff. So if you are in a year with a lot of 4 energy in your field, this may not be the time for you to put all of your energy into something that is profoundly creative, because that's a really different energy. The 4 energy is calling you to pay attention to details. It's saying, if you do the 4 work, then you will be supported in it, and anything else is going to be require more efforting, right? So when you get your chart done, you get to see how you can make the most of the vibrations and the frequencies that are with you. I don't know if that answers anybody's questions, but that's me talking to myself. Okay. Is there anybody else out there? Way cool, way cool. I am unfamiliar with. I don't know how I tried yesterday to tag somebody who was who had asked to be called in, and it didn't work for me. And now I know I've got people who. Of course, it could be also that Saturday doesn't work. Hello, Utah. How are you? Good to see you. I had no idea that a weekend would flush out all my friends. That's so neat. Did you want a card, Jen? I will. I'm sitting here. You can't. If your screen is the same as my screen, although you probably don't have a whole lot of. I've got weird and wonderful statistics showing at the bottom, but I am shuffling cards. I am. So this is nice to see you here. And the people for whom I scheduled this event, it has not, yay! They're not here. Maybe they'll be here later. I don't know. Okay, so I've been drawing with an intention to find clarity, Jen. So, oh, nice. Okay, so you have received card number 1, which is a daylily. Very interesting image, because this is the spring growth, the beginning of the new daylily annual existence, but it's having to push through last year's growth that has stopped being useful and stopped. Hello, Natalie. How good to see you. It has last year's growth is still there. It's still attached. It's still in the way. It's changing how the sunlight reaches the tuber of the daylily, but the daylily is still pushing through and beginning its new cycle. And of course, one is always a beginning. There was nothing, and then there was something. That's the number one. The idea that you would draw this now, it's time of growing, the yellow color, growing beyond what is in the past and what has its usefulness. The time is gone, and there's a whole lot of stuff there that's about attitudes and knowledges and who you were before you started the learning that you're doing now, and the formal teaching that you're receiving, as well as the social learning that you're receiving. Wow, everybody got here. Okay, so first person to ask for a card is Cheryl, and please let me know if I'm saying that name correctly. I always want to say it correctly. Irsa, I'm so glad you're here, and I was really concerned that I'd offended you in some way. So I will read for Cheryl, and then for Irsa, and then for Alinat. So yes, absolutely. We're looking for clarity. Cheryl. That's a really nice name. I've never seen that spelling before. I like it. Okay, for Cheryl. Oh, now this is not necessarily, you're welcome, Jen. You're not necessarily this doesn't have to be about a romantic relationship, right? We tend, certainly in the culture I live in, that when we see something like ooh love, we think romance right away, and that's not necessarily right. Might be right, but it's not necessarily right. Number 31 is, 3 is your point of inspiration. It's your creative energy. It's that place where new things come into the physical world through you. And 1 is your central identity. And they're adding up to a 4. I was just talking about a four energy, that strong, stable, um, foundational base on which we can build all other things. And if we don't have the base in place, then nothing can nothing will be supported. The next things we build will be falling over. Um, okay. Um, so a new love for you in terms of clarity, there's something is calling you there. There's something in your intentional field, and it could be that there's a book where there's a new field of learning that once you find it, you're going to just love knowing about that, and it's going to lead you on a different path. It certainly could be a relationship. It could be a new romantic partner. It could be a new work colleague that when you get together, you're greater than the sum of your parts. You're oh, I'm so glad, Jen. That's nice. I like that you love it. It's a good one for sure. Um, it could also be, I have seen this one come to new moms or expectant moms who are in a state of love with a newly arrived soul who has come into the human experience. So there are lots of different ways that this can manifest. The lilac in this picture, you can see, is mostly not fully not fully open. Everything is still in a state of anticipation, of preparation, and the way that we are when we're finding something really new and we're excited by it, but we're not all the way into it because we're not quite there yet. So that is a thing. Hello, Lorraine. I see you there. I absolutely will read for you. However, Irsa was. Were you next? You didn't ask for a card. All right. Natalie did, however. So I'm going to read for Natalie. Irsa, my energy drags you, does it? I don't know if the word drag is. I, 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 I'm sure it's a mistype and you meant draw. There we go. I'm glad that my energy draws you. And if you would like a card, Irsa, I would love to draw one for you. But for now, I'm going to draw for Natalie. We're looking um, for clarity. Clarity. This has been a week of great confusion in so many different ways. Okay. All right, Natalie, number 28. Leadership. Such a cool number. Mugo pine puts out these big growths that grow really tall in the spring, and then they plump out and they develop their long needles over the course of the season. So this the growth is called a candle. So it is sort of lighting the way for whatever people in the darkness are okay. Irsa, I see your request. Absolutely. Yeah, no worries. No, you're good. Oh, don't worry. Your English is absolutely fine. So, who am I talking to? I am talking to Natalie. All right. So these are candles. You're lighting the way. You're in the lead. You're showing the way for people to go. Number 28. 2 is for community. So you being a leader in an empty room is not the most effective. So you're in community, and whether that's online, whether it's with your household, whether it's that you're running for parliament, I have no idea, but that's whatever fits with you. That's the community that too is addressing. And then 8 is this wonderful flow of cosmic energy, the justice and the fairness and the balance that comes with a number 8. And they're adding together into 10, which is the one, which is you, center of your own universe, and the whole entire cosmos as you perceive it is beginning with the core identity that is Natalie and has been since the beginning of time. Um, and a 0, which is the whole cosmos. So then we add those together. So we know that the cosmos is within Natalie, that it is all there, that you have access to all of the wisdom from all of forever. And they're adding up into the one, which is you. And you get to lead the way, to set the example, and no matter how it is that you are living, there are people who are learning from that. You are leading their understanding of what life is like. So lovely card. Really, really like that. Thank you, Natalie. All right, so can I get a card? Yes. Came here to watch. I'd like a card, please. Next one is Laureen. Okay. And then Irsa. Okay. No, Irsa, I don't let me insult you. Um, your English is absolutely lovely. Laureen. Oh, Laureen, are you here with Jen? I just realized I know that name. I just had been processing it in my mind with an AU, and now I see it written differently. Okay, all right. All right, Laureen, we're looking for clarity, and we're looking at ooh, looking at synthesis. Okay, Irsa is next. And oh, you invited her, Jen. This is good. This is lovely. Okay, this is a gorgeous card. Love this card. I love all these cards. I know I say it all the time, but I really, really do. Synthesis is the ability to bring things together from different places and create something coherent out of them. So, the writer Daniel Pink, he writes about this, but he calls it symphony. So that kind of speaks to the way we can bring strings and percussion and brass and wind instruments together, and I mean they all sound incredibly different, but when we put them on a stage together and they work together, we get symphonies, right? It's beautiful. And this is the same kind of thing. This bramble, you can see the berries are in so many different stages of ripening. There's some that are still just hard and white, and there's sort of pink ones and yellow ones and green ones and purple ones and black ones, and they're all together in the same place, and they're all developing, and they make a beautiful picture, and they make a coherent understanding of what bramble fruit is all about. And so the energy of this is about your ability to take things from different places and put them together, and make something new, and find a way to show the world how things can fit together and be beneficial for the whole community. One is the number of your essential self, and 5 is the number of growth and expansion and adjusting to new circumstances, adapting to the way that things are. There's a real flexibility about a 5. And they add together, they become a 6, which is the number of service. It's the number where you're making the community into a better place because you're in it, where you are improving circumstances, you're helping people to understand things, you are meeting your responsibilities, and sometimes you're doing things that you believe in, that you're always maintaining your integrity. Sometimes you do them because you feel you have a duty to. So You know, maybe you're teaching children in the neighborhood something, and there's one child who keeps biting you in the knee, and you're not that thrilled, but you continue to teach them because it is your duty to treat everybody in the same way, right? You understand what I mean? So you're meeting your responsibility, even in those moments when it's not quite your most favorite thing. But ultimately, it all comes together in a really, really nice, improving way. So that's very, very cool. That's lovely energy. I like that. Okay, Irsa, out late. I guess you're not up early, are you? Because I'm the one who's in the morning. You're not. So glad that you came back, and your English is lovely, Irsa. I hope you understand me well. It is. It is good. So yes, Laureen. I hope that made sense. We're going to Irsa, and my goodness, it's nearly 10:30. There was a lull at the beginning, and I think maybe 9:30 isn't the best time. But it's lovely to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Irsa. Right on the end. Oh my. Okay, Irsa. I don't know what's going on in your life. This is a really good card. Just to be clear. Number 27. These are rotting grapes. And these are. Oh, I'm glad, Laureen. That's great. Good. Um, these grapes have been left on the vine way past their usefulness as any kind of edible edible fruit, and they've actually fermented in the skin. I don't know if you can tell, but they're like swollen, puffy, and ready to blow. And so it's way too late for them to be used as fruit for in this season. However, what's going to happen is they are going to burst. They are going to fall onto the ground in a incredibly um, rich, thick, nutrient dense um, bed in which the seeds can grow and flourish and just be so nurtured and kept warm through the winter and allowed a chance to grow enormously strongly the following spring, right? If you compare taking one of these grapes away and putting it on the ground and letting it germinate and ultimately grow, compared to these that are going to be in this group, the richness, the depth of um, of support and nourishment and all of that that comes from these is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's about the grapes. For you, there's something in your life that you have passed. You are you can't go back, and in a lot of ways all of society, we can't go back to how things were before COVID, right? It's just too late. Everything is changed now. Everything is changed. And what is important to remember is that the stuff that is, oh, okay, the stuff that is over, can't be reclaimed, but it can be used as the bed of nutrition, of understanding, of knowledge, of learning and wisdom that came from it to really support a new and different future. That what you learned from what's gone is going to help you have a really successful, supported, protected situation in the future, right? Does that make sense? Two is the community, the people around you, household or workplace or whatever community is in this situation. Seven is the teacher, and you have learnt a great deal from being in the circumstances that you were that are over, and that wisdom is what carries forward into your nourishing soil for next time. They're adding together to nine, and nine is that holistic energy where everything is connected to everything else. Nine is also the end of the cycle. Next digit is 10, and then we're going to add them up together, and it's going back to turn the cycle again. Nine helps find conclusions, helps find completions. It draws a line under whatever was, and whether that's, it can be about releasing a toxic friend who has been a problem in your life, and drawing a line under that. Never going to let her, I don't know, sabotage my stove again. Um, or it can be about you finally finish the manuscript that you're writing and you get it sent off to the publisher. So a completion is not always any kind of a negative ending. It is just a time that it's over. And these grapes, I was there, I know, it was purely about neglect that they got left too late. And okay, I love the little string of hearts. I guess that's making sense to you, Irsa. I'm so glad that you're here at 8:30 at night. All right, I don't know why I thought it was going to be a little earlier than that, but maybe I've got you in the wrong time zone. Anyway, oh, also, of course, yeah, I thought 7:30 at the beginning of my, yeah, okay. All right, so it looks as though you're happy with that reading, all your little hearts. Thank you. Is there anybody else here? It is 10:30. I'm going to shut this down, but if you're here and you've been here and you would like a card, speak now or type now. Otherwise, I am coming back November same time, Saturday morning, 9:30 Eastern. I'm always here on Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern. Next week is going to be, I think, the 35th Friday of of this lock-in. And I have to tell you, I love Fridays. I love doing these lives. I love, oh, oh, thank you, Jen. I guess you are. I didn't even think about that. It's only 8:30 at your house, isn't it? Wow. Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for inviting Laureen, and I'm glad that you thought they were great cards. That's so cool. And I will be talking to you later, I have no doubt. And yeah, so if you're here, if you're on Facebook, please like and follow this page. If you're watching the video on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. And whichever one it is, please head over to joleath.com, JOLEATH, and sign up for my newsletter and get involved and check the events and come to things and book a session with me, because we can do so much more in-depth, really, really, really wonderful information when we can get together. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Stay home if you possibly can. If you have to go out, then please wear your mask. Do what you have to do. All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.